Before we get into this video, make sure to check out my 10 Black creators to follow video. It'll be linked down below in the description and also up above. Thanks guys. Hi friends, what's up? It's Jamie here. Welcome back to another Fangirl Fridays video. For today's Fangirl Fridays video, I'm going to be giving some book recommendations, specifically books that are by Black authors as it is Black History Month. First, I'm going to talk about 5 books that I've read, and then I'm going to talk about some of the books that are on my TBR list. Also, just to preface, all the 5 books that I'm going to cover in this video of the books that I've read are all going to be poetry books. My hope is that when I eventually do another video like this in the future, I'll have book recommendations from other genres, but for right now, they're all poetry, so sorry about that, but they're all really good, I promise. So without further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we have Salt and Nejma by Nayera Waheed. This should really come as a surprise to no one, considering that I've actually talked about Nayera Waheed's poetry on this channel a couple of times now. I love her writing so much. I still think I personally prefer Salt over Nejma, but they're like neck and neck. Like they're incredibly close. They were both incredible books, such good reads. Like honestly, these are definitely my favorite out of the books I'm going to talk about in this video. They're just outstanding. Like these out of every Nejma's being a little floppy. Out of every book that I'm going to mention in this video, oh my Nejma's flopping around a little bit. Out of every book that I'm going to mention in this video, out of all of them, like these are the 2 that I think that you should read like now if you haven't already, because they're just that incredible. Like I've mentioned before and the other times that I've talked about Nayera's work on this channel, her poetry covers a wide array of important topics ranging from, but also not limited to, womanhood, particularly Black womanhood, misogynoir, racism, anti-Blackness, love, heartbreak, xenophobia, identity, just to name a few. I recently just finished reading Nejma for the first time ever, and some of my favorite poems in this book contain such potent messages about the fetishization of Black bodies, white privilege, particularly within the academic context. There's one poem in particular on page 38 that I absolutely loved. It's one of my favorites in the entire book, and I feel that it really speaks to the current political climate in Florida with the attacks on Black literature and the new AP African American Studies course. I really cannot say enough good things about Nayera's poetry. Like genuinely, even if you are not a poetry person, and I totally get it because I used to not be a poetry person at all, I still think you need to read these books because they are just that incredible. If I had to give a specific recommendation of which book I think you should start with, I think again I'm gonna have to go with Salt, but again, both books fantastic, so you really can't go wrong either way. Also, I'm so sorry to interrupt the video right now, but I just realized that I have not addressed that these are new glasses. Like, I just started recording and I was just talking and I forgot to mention I have new glasses. Well, technically, this is a temporary pair because my old glasses broke. It was very tragic. And I'm currently waiting for my new glasses to be ready. So this is actually a temporary pair. You're only gonna see this pair in like 2 videos, but I thought I'd just mention it anyway. So anyway, sorry. Enough of that. Let's get back to the video. Next up, we have I Love My Love and A Psalm for Us by Raina Biddy. Raina Biddy is one of the first ever poets that I ever started following on Instagram, and let me just say, her books did not disappoint. The poems in I Love My Love discuss Raina's upbringing, her parents' toxic relationship, and how eventually, in spite of all these things, she learned to love herself. Whereas Psalm for Us is a collection of prose about faith, prayer, and epiphanies. It's definitely a lot more spiritual. I just realized that it's a Psalm for Us and not Psalm for Us. I'm very stupid. I'm so sorry. A Psalm for Us. I definitely prefer I Love My Love over A Psalm for Us because personally I'm not a very religious or spiritual person. So I out of the 2, I Love My Love is definitely my favorite. But if you are a spiritual kind of person, I would definitely recommend A Psalm for Us. To be honest, it's been a couple of years since I first read I Love My Love. When did this book come out? I don't remember when it came out, but I remember, okay, it came out, oh my god. The fact that 2017, 6 years ago. I don't think I got it in 2017, but I definitely got it a couple of years ago. So it's been a while since I've read it. My memory about it is a little fuzzy, but I do remember finding Raina's descriptions of pain and heartbreak really profound, and they really cut me deep. and I love it when when media messes me up. I love having my heart ripped out of me. So if you are the same, I would definitely recommend I Love My Love. And finally, we have Empty Bottles Full of Stories by Robert M. Drake and R.H. Sin. This is my most recent read from this list, and I really enjoyed it. Basically, the first half of the book contains poems by Robert M. Drake, and then the second half is poems by R.H. Sin. I didn't realize initially when it switched up. I mean, you can kind of tell because the style of, like, the, fuck, what is it called? The print changes when you switch over from Robert M. Drake's section to R.H. Sin, but I didn't initially pick up on that. Like, I was like, oh, like, the first half is Robert M. Drake and the second half is R.H. Sin. I didn't initially pick up on that. But I think it's really cool that the book is split into their two sections, because I was wondering about that when I first got the book, of like, so is like gonna be like an every other like poem is one of theirs? Did they write them together? Is that a thing? Do people write poems together? Like, I wasn't really sure how it was gonna work, so I this makes a lot of sense to me that it was divided into the two halves of the book. Something that I also noticed was that Robert M. Drake's poems definitely were kind of focused more, not all of them, but a good amount of them, like a lot of the early ones were focused more on social justice issues, whereas R.H. Sin's poems were more geared towards love and heartbreak. Personally, I really loved Robert M. Drake's half of the book. I also really liked R.H. Sin's half, don't get me wrong, all the poems in this book were really good, but if I had to pick like my favorite of the two, I definitely think I'd have to go with Robert M. Drake. I think those poems just hit me a little harder. But again, the whole book it's really good. I really enjoyed this whole book. But yeah, the poetry in this book is really excellent, and I kind of love that Robert M. Drake and R.H. Sin kind of covered different subjects within their respective sections of the book. It kind of makes it feel like there's a little something for everyone in this book, which I think is really cool. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about some of the books that are on my TBR list. I'm specifically going to highlight 3 on my TBR list that are by Black authors. There are a lot of more. My TBR list is so long. It's so, and I think it's like, if I had to take a guess, I think it's like 13 pages long. She's very long, so long. But yeah, so for this video, I'm just gonna talk about the immediate 3 that I really want to read. And those books are The Black Friend on Being a Better White Person by Frederick T. Joseph, So You Want to Talk About Race by Ijoma Oluo, and finally we have Black Girl Call Home Poems by Jasmine Mans. The Black Friend and So You Want to Talk About Race are both nonfiction books, and as the title suggests, Black Girl Call Home is a poetry book. As I was looking up some stuff about The Black Friend, I thought it was really interesting because it says here, according to, I'm getting my information from Penguin Random House, each chapter in the book features the voice of a different artist or activist, a different Black artist or activist, which I think is really cool. I didn't expect that. I didn't really know what to expect with the book. I mean, I'm familiar with Frederick T. Joseph because I've been following him on Instagram for a very long time. Him and Ijoma Oluo, who I also mentioned in my 10 Black creators to follow video. This is also a reminder that if you aren't following them, you need to get on that. But yeah, so I'm very familiar with his work from his Instagram, but I wasn't really sure what to expect with The Black Friend specifically, but I think that's really cool that each chapter features a different Black artist or activist. I think that's really interesting. Hi friends, editing Jaime here. I just realized that I think I must have deleted the clip where I was talking about So You Want to Talk About Race, because I cannot find it. I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened to it. But basically, all I wanted to say was that So You Want to Talk About Race, each chapter is basically like a question pertaining to contemporary racism in America, and in each chapter Ijoma Oluo basically talks about her own like personal opinions on each subject, and then also gives like advice about how to talk about these issues in the real world. That's all I wanted to say. I again don't know what happened to the clip, but yeah. And then Black Girl Call Home is a poetry collection about race, feminism, and queer identity. Although I'm unfamiliar with Jasmine Man's work, I've only recently become aware of her with Black Girl Call Home. I am so excited to read this book. I've heard so many good things about it, and it was also one of the February picks for this queer book club that I recently joined called Saf Lit. So I'm super excited to read it. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Also, very quickly before I wrap up this video, I wanted to shout out an Instagram account that I actually only recently discovered just this morning. This originally was not going to be a part of this original video, but I felt that this was really fitting. And this account is at The Reading Black Girls on Instagram. Literally, when I tell you that I literally just stumbled upon this account today, that's what happened. I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, for the video that I'm doing today. Basically, this Instagram account is run by 4 Black girls who recommend/review primarily Black authored books, and I'm so excited to go through. I've already started to kind of go through the account and see what books they've been recommending. That I've been kind of curating a bit of a list of books from the account to add to my TBR list, because something I realized while putting this video together is that I was like, Jesus Christ, I've really not read that many books that are by Black authors, and that needs to change. So I'm very, very excited to take in all of these recommendations, because again, I already had some that they actually mentioned in some of the videos that I've watched already, some of the reels on my TBR list, but I'm really excited to add more. I'm very excited. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments who your favorite Black authors are and your favorite Black authored book recs. Personally, I really love fiction, and I'm trying to get back into reading fiction because I really haven't read very much fiction recently. So if you have any good Black authored fiction recommendations, please drop those down in the comments. I would love to know. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I upload Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, except when I don't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.